Well, today is the first day of the Virginia General Assembly.
Didn't take long for Democrats and Republicans to duke it out. Republicans both evenly split with Democrats in the state Senate, but Republicans flexed some political muscle and took over. On your side's Andy Fox, live at the state capitol now. What happened, Andy?
Yeah, Tom, there's a lot of hard feelings on the first day of the General Assembly, which will last 60 days. Republicans gave a classic example of pure power politics, and they had an ace in the hole. Republican Lieutenant Governor Bill Bolling knows he's not a state senator and admits he cannot serve as a senator and as lieutenant governor at the same time. There are 20 Democrats in the Senate and 20 Republicans, tied. But Bolling voted to break the tie that gave fellow Republicans control over the Senate.
Should you be able to break ties?
Oh, I don't think there's any question about that. If the organizational matters come before the Senate and result in a tie, the Lieutenant Governor is fully empowered to cast the deciding vote.
Democratic Senator Donald McEachin has filed a lawsuit and says Bolling's vote is unconstitutional. Bolling is not a senator and cannot vote on Senate organizational matters.
This should be co-chairs of the standing committees. The standing committees should be 16-member, not 15. And they should be divided evenly between Democrats and Republicans.
McEachin calls for power sharing, and here's why that's important to Hampton Roads. State Senator Mamie Locke, Democrat, is now no longer chair of the General Laws and Technology.
A lot of issues that I, as a chair, could make some determination of what would come before the committee and how we would begin to address those issues may not necessarily get addressed in the same way.
Senator Louise Lucas, Democrat, no longer local government's chair, and was to become chair of Education and Health.
I'm just a little bit disappointed that it's not going to happen now, but guess what? It isn't going to be like this always. I've been through this process several times. I've been in the majority, I've been in the minority.
Senator Yvonne Miller, Democrat, no longer chairperson of the Transportation Committee. She's very angry about this.
I think the Commonwealth of Virginia has now reverted to its very inglorious past, when everything in the state was dominated by whites and minorities were excluded.
The Republicans argue they have 20 senators. If Democrats wanted control of the Senate, they should have won more elections. And Republican Bill Bolling says,
We want to be fair, and the members are still trying to figure out the best way to do that.
Well, the Republicans thought the best way to do that was just to take control now. This matter had been in court a few weeks ago, and the judge said, wait a second, we got to see what Bill Bolling does before I decide on that. Well, we now know what Lieutenant Governor Bill Bolling has done. This will certainly be going back to court. In Richmond, Andy Fox on the first day of the General Assembly in Richmond. 10 on your